Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, or welcome to another fine edition of GNF Televisable. We talk about anything that we want and everything that we want. But as usual, I am your hosties with the mosties. I am the Canadian Rogue, better known as Robert Kumitz for some. I am the demon of the internet, and here we are on a Friday. Yet another lovely, glorious Friday. Yeah, that's right. We weren't here the last time because of a certain Metak who decided to, do a stream and yell at clouds because, ice and all that kind of shit. But yeah, we've survived. Or at least I survived. I have no about no blah, apparently not. I have no idea what anybody else is doing, so left their little tiny invite, and if they wish to, join, they can by hitting a little link. Otherwise, you're just stuck with me. That's right. Me and my ending drink, which is not good. I should probably fill that up eventually. Nom, 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 nom. But how's everybody out there in Chatsville? Are we all doing good? Are you doing grand? Yes, yes. Depending on whereabouts you are, you're probably on a YouTube, but maybe I have no idea, a Twitcher somewhere, or a Kicker. I have no idea. I have no idea. But hello, hello, hello. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Let's see. A lot has happened. A lot has not happened. Jesus Christ. I do know a few things that I thought was interesting, but that's just me. And apparently there's an update for Marvel Rivals. That's right, a new season has come about, and yeah, they added in Deadpool. Oh boy, oh boys, oh boys, ladies and gents, we have a Sparky's from Sparky's Tech Corner who has decided to join us. Hello, Sparkles, how you doing?
What's up?
Ceiling as usual. Ah, yes, and no ceiling cats this go around.
I was just getting ready to say, you sure you don't have any ceiling cats?
No, 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 no. I wish I did. I'd be able to look up. I'd be able to give you pictures of those beautiful paws and shit. But yeah, no, no. I don't even have any form of rodents above me, which is quite weird. Even though I have an attic space, I could have rodents, but I don't have any rodents. How has life been you? How's life? Life been good?
Life's been good. Work's picking back up. Been working a little bit of overtime. So
Nice.
been playing Elite Dangerous. I just got done getting two new controllers. I swapped over to the VKB Gladiator NXT joysticks, twin
Mhm.
sticks.
Nice.
Um, I've been using the right because I bought them one at a time,
Yeah,
and I should have bought them both at the same time
might have been
because,
beneficial.
well, all right. So Elite Dangerous' control schemes kind of fucky wucky.
Yeah,
Um, all games control schemes can be fucky wucky,
fucky
but
wucky. Yeah.
it's a little bit special Elite Dangerous because you can make custom set custom binds,
Uh-huh.
and when you make them, you got to do something so it doesn't change them. You basically copy them and rename them. But
Yeah.
the problem is when you do that, whatever controller you have set up. So before I bought the right hand VKB, I was using two Thrustmaster joysticks and one
Oh,
Thrustmaster throttle.
Frostmaster.
Yeah, along with a Nintendo Switch gamepad controller for on foot.
Okay.
Combination of Stream Deck, keyboard, and mouse for all my controls and buttons.
Mm.
I had it set up to that. But the problem is once you add a joystick and you configure a button to that joystick, the way Elite Dangerous has the game, I have it set up, if any one of those controllers are unplugged,
Uh-huh.
it won't find or recognize the file
Yep.
until you plug the joystick or that controller back in. Good and dandy for, oh yeah, oh, I guess there's a controller unplugged. Let me hook it back in. Oh, everything's working. Fine and dandy for that. But a pain in the ass if you want to remove a controller and put another one in,
Yeah.
because it doesn't allow you to do that. So you got to remap 140 different keybinds.
Mm. Mm.
And I've already done that once last week for this new joystick.
Oh,
Now I have the throttle in, so I'm gonna have to do it again.
yes. And anytime that you add a new one, yes, you have to do it again.
Well, this is the end all be all. I'm going to be adding controllers in next.
Okay.
If anything, I'm gonna be adding more controllers in. The problem is I'm removing a one joystick and one throttle, and that's being replaced by a singular VKB left-handed stick. And
All right.
I just got done doing a modification on the stick too to um relocating one of the so inside the VKB you have two sets of springs, one for side to side, one for
Huh?
forwards and backwards. And the way it's set up, one spring controls the forward and backward movement, and one spring controls the side to side movement. The sticks are primarily designed for like Ace Combat or
Mhm.
flight games. So you're gonna have it set up one of two different ways. You're gonna have it set up either with springs in it or with a throttle blocking plate in it to keep it from going side to side, and no springs in it for like helicopter flight and stuff.
Yep.
But they don't have it set up specifically for like any kind of a space flight. So for a
Ah.
space flight, you'll want the omnidirection for like going backwards and side to side, but you want those to kind of return back to center because you're not going to go in those directions all
Mhm.
the time. But you want your throttle to, if you put it forward and leave it, you want it there.
Okay.
So I ended up doing a modification that moves the spring off of the forward axis and only on the reverse axis, and then put
Uh-huh.
it elsewhere on the controller. And it actually works pretty damn good.
All
I
right.
just put a video up on Twitter about it.
Yeah.
But I'll be setting that up not right now. I'm doing it as a community goal right now, so I don't want to fuck everything up on it. But I'll be setting that up probably Sunday or Monday,
Okay.
and right as rain. Then the only thing I gotta do now is just get stands for the damn joysticks. I can finally mount them to my chair.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's kind of what I've been doing.
Okay.
Besides that, laughing at bullshit online, just the normal stuff.
Yeah, no, I've been kind of paying attention to a few other different things as per usual, entertainment wise.
Yeah, I
Because,
know.
uh,
I hear
ba-
about
ba-
it.
oh, you have you?
Well, I see what you post in the back office and
I post a
other
lot of different
places.
things, but there's a few things I have been paying attention that has been very interesting for me at least. I know it's brand spanking new, but I did get access to a little thing called Starfleet Academy. A little early access. I got a couple episodes I got to look at before a few other people were able to look at. It was quite interesting.
Starfleet. Star Trek game?
No, no, no. The new TV series, the new Kirksman series, based off of his continuation of Star Trek Discovery in that.
Ah, okay.
So this is set many years in the future, almost like 100 years after what they call the burn. So you know how Discovery goes into a future point? Well, that future point gets another 100 years on top of it. And somewhere in the course of the time frame, they lose all their dilithium or the ability to make dilithium, which forces everybody to be stuck in their little place. Tell me if you haven't heard this before. Where you know all the abilities to jump from point to point and amongst the galaxies just suddenly stopped.
Well, I so have I heard of it before in the show? No, but it's a concern within any of the shows
Oh no,
because
it's purely
dilithium.
based off a game,
Yeah,
a certain game.
well, I'm just saying they
Yeah,
do show that concern within the shows.
yeah.
because dilithium is
No,
a
no, no.
consumable resource. It's a non-renewable consumable resource.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it's one of those. It's hard to mine. It's
Mhm,
hard to refine.
mhm.
You can regenerate it somewhat, but not in like bulk quantities.
No, no.
And
I
it's one of those. There is no suitable quote unquote replacement. There is, but not to the degree of
no, but
it's the equivalent of like okay, let's replace gasoline for vehicles with this gigantic ass wind turbine. It's kind of like on that equivalent. So
well,
I've heard of it and seen it in the shows of kind of being talked around, but
yes.
not really implemented.
No, so I'm also boring heavily on a certain video game premise that actually does exist, and it seems like this, though this
Star Trek
series,
Online.
no, no, Mass Effect.
Ah, okay.
Yes, they have little jump points that they have to go to. Certain machines allow them to jump from point to point, pretty much like warp, but not exactly. And in the third portion of the game, like the third one, you end up losing those ones, and everybody's kind of stuck where they are.
It's more like a fold.
Pretty much, yes. So I forget how the burn happens, but this takes place 100 years after that. And I know it's based off of whatever the Discovery chick is, and I forget her name. Michael Burnham. That's her name. Michael Burnham. And so now they decided after a while to bring the gang back together again. Starfleet is now have a massive academy teaching new cadets because they figured out how to get their engines to work and all that kind of shit to warp. Yay, yay! And so now they're going to be getting a whole classroom of kids to learn what it means to be Starfleet.
Are they using the fucking spore drive?
I'm not gonna say we haven't really gotten that far, honestly. That this is kind of the we have an entire season, actually 2 seasons, to get more explanation of where we are. But right now we're being introduced to the cast. I the cast is very unique, very interesting. Let's see if I
Oh no, I think I've seen pictures of this. They have like one alien species. It looks like a extreme offset of Corella Deville or some shit like that.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
thing, yes. So let's see if I could let's see if I
they should just stuck to the blue painted men
it would have been fine. It would have been interesting. But yeah,
with the
unfortunately they
little
didn't go that far.
tubular fucking ears, the Shrek looking dudes.
Yeah.
But instead of green, the blue.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So one particular species that popped up very quickly, very interesting for me. Let's see if I could get this to work. Yes, I did. Here it is. This particular species um is somewhat new. Could you take a wild stab on what species this would be?
Orc.
I would say you're not wrong, but in this case you are, unfortunately. This lovely species is a hologram.
Did they? All right, so they were floating around with this in some episodes of Voyager,
Uh-huh.
which I don't. I didn't mind the idea. It seemed legitimate. Oh fuck. Robert.
Picardo.
Yeah, Robert Picardo. Um, they kind of brought that idea into effect with his character with the EMH on Voyager,
Yeah.
and they experimented a little bit with like on the next generation
Yeah.
or some of the hologram programs on that. Like they had a really good episode where it was a Sherlock. I think it was Sherlock Holmes,
It would have been Sherlock
Moriarty.
Moriarty, yes.
They had a hologram reprogram the holodeck and trapped Picard, Data, and Brentley.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
Brentley on holodeck in a simulation, and it made it look like that. Hey, the hologram got loose from holodeck.
Yeah.
So I mean, they oh cool. All right.
Yes.
So
Oh,
I know where you're gonna go with it.
you do.
It's got to be one of those eye roll detriment deals and shit like that. But I mean, to me, it's like I'm kind of glad they did something like that. But
I'm liking some aspect of where they're going. I just don't like how they implement certain things. For example, our lovely holograms. Yes, Picard will come back. He's the EMH has been from the Voyager time frame. He is now very grizzled. He's seen a lot of people come and go in the world of the living, and so he's put in an aging protocol into his emitter or his programming, so he looks much older than what he's supposed to be. The lovely other hologram, she was only produced in about maybe 4 months, and she looks like she's 17.
uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay, no problem, great, but she acts like she's autistic.
Looks it too.
Unfortunately, yes. And I'm like, wait, okay, hold up. You had an interesting premise, and you fucked it over for
So
what?
so the interesting premise I would have liked to see, and unfortunately, is like this is 100 years after Discovery, and Discovery was some so 24th, 25th century.
25th century, somewhere there, yeah.
Okay, so 7 and 9's dead.
Yep,
I can only assume.
I would assume so. It's like a
The premise I would like to see would be a tagging up or a team up or just a re-encounter between the EMH and 7 and 9,
that would be
because those two
great.
those two were buddy and buddy,
Mhm.
because it was a holographic program who's not human, looking, the EMH was Voyager's data,
Pretty much.
but it was a copy of the brainwaves of its programmer, so it had a concept of human emotion.
Yes.
And it was trying to become real. It was trying to become in, as essence as real as possible. Taste alcohol, or taste food, or breathe air, touch, feel, and stuff like that. That
Uh-huh.
was that was the EMH's driving goal. And then you had 7 and 9, who was a human, but got turned Borg at a very, very early young age.
Yes.
So she knows
He
nothing
was
else,
what, maybe
trying
9
to
or so?
rediscover humanity.
Correct.
And they had a lot of good episodes with those two interacting that I really loved.
Mhm.
I will love to see them come back to that.
It would be nice, but unfortunately, this is Kirkman. I don't think he'd be able to write something like that. I've seen the first episode, and I kind of wish I didn't see it ultimately. And then following it with the secondary episode, I'm like going, I'm good. I'm just going to speed run this one. 'Cause this is, yeah, not getting any better. It's not promoting me to watch it. And unfortunately, on the on any form of ratio for critics and for the watchers, like the actual average individuals, the critics love it, and the average viewer hates it. It's like kind of like almost like 90 versus 30. That really good skew, so you can tell where everything is, because it's innovating apparently to the real critics, the ones who have been certified. Yeah.
So here's how I view it.
Mm,
And I don't see like I don't see any downsides or detriments to the show, and especially what you described. It's
Mm.
like okay, it's like any other silly, kind of goofy space adventure stuff like that. I would assume that the average viewer that likes Orville or something like that would like this show. But
Um,
any seasoned veteran
yes.
of the show, especially Voyager or Next Generation, um, not so much of the original Cook Enterprise,
No, 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 no.
but
I,
Next Generation,
TNG, the
yeah,
original,
yeah,
yes.
TNG and Voyager.
Yeah.
Those people will probably hate, like some aspects, hate the majority of it.
I wish this was close to TNG or whatever. This is CW in space.
That's why, like I said, your people who watch like
I
Orville will
love
probably
Orville.
like,
Orville is
yeah.
great. Orville has aspects of original Star Trek. This
No,
is
no, no. You don't get it without having any influence from Star Trek.
no, no, no. I get that. I get that. I grasp that.
The people who have never seen Star Trek
Never seen Star Trek would
watch
be able to
Orville.
watch Orville and get a grasp. That's
Hmm.
kind of see, I'm not a fan of Star Trek. I've seen Star Trek. I was
You
never one
know
of the
of
people.
Star
I
Trek.
know of, yeah.
You know the ins and outs a
I
little
yeah,
bit.
it's like I've never seen all of Has Been Hotel, but I know of the aspect of and
And
why
it's like I don't know if you'll probably be able to get into the
the
whole
hell of a
thing
boss
of
or whatever.
taking matter and antimatter and colliding that over the delirium crystals and then following that out to the warp nacelles and
Yeah, I'm
generating
kind of
a
eh,
warp bubble.
yeah.
You may or may not be able to go into that aspects like with me and stuff,
Yeah,
but
I'm like going,
you
okay,
know the
cool.
overall
No,
stuff.
I get it's like I'm not massive on Stargate, but I know a lot within that in that particular sci-fi genre. So I get it when you have an old fan or a fan who is kind of growing into it or going into it. I I get that. Like I've never read all of One Piece, but I get it. Okay, it's like, but when I see certain things and I kind of go, wait, this really doesn't fit this genre whatsoever. This fits a completely different genre. It's just like the Acolytes for Star
Yeah.
Wars. This has the facade, but none of the main interest to bring in the new fans or even the old fans. It's meant for somebody completely different. Same thing for this version of Star Trek. It's like it's not really Star Trek, and yet it's trying to what it's LARPing as Star Trek.
Well, it's like
Case in point.
well, it's like Knights of the Old Republic.
I'm going
um,
to present you this beautiful
people
creature in front.
people who like Knights of the Old Republic
Uh-huh.
and people who like the new prequels will
The New
probably have
Republic. Yeah.
will have a civil war with each other.
Could, could.
There'll be some offshoots of people who like all of it because it's just Star Wars and that's how they are. But
Yeah, there's always going to be the
it's kind of
hardcore.
like that. It's kind of like that dichotomy. It's like with me.
Yeah.
I seen a little bit of the Halo show.
Uh-huh.
I fucking hate it.
Oh yeah, like,
There is one thing in that show they can do that I think would make it all better.
uh,
Shut John up.
yeah, be good. Yes, that be
Make him mute. Shut
uh,
him up. You got Halo.
yeah, you pretty much do. You pretty much do. But yeah, so this beautiful creature who is on screen, she is
Is that
one of
Whoopi
the
Goldberg?
this you've seen before.
Is that Guinan?
No, I wish it would have been interesting. This beautiful creature you've seen before in a certain show called Deep Space Nine. It is from the Alpha Quadrant, or is no, the Delta Quadrant. It's from the
No,
Delta
no, no,
Quadrant.
no, 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 no. Beta, no, 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 no. Gamma card. They're the fuck.
The-
Jemadar.
yes, this is a Jem'Hadar female.
Excuse me. I thought there wasn't females because the Jemadar was a genetically created race.
Correct. You would be very correct. But this is a Jem'Hadar. Thank you, Fantasy Gamma. Uh, uh, this is beautiful creature is a female version of the Jem'Hadar.
All right. So my Deep Space Nine lore is not that good
It's
because
fine.
out of all of them, Deep Space Nine was the one I really didn't watch the most of, which I probably should go back and watch.
You might want
But
to.
if I remember right,
Oh,
the Jemadar was a genetically altered species by the changelings
yeah, the
because they
founder.
found out that their genome was easily modifiable and selectively bred to be warriors and not even bred but created.
You're
The
right,
same
Fantasy.
same same
Hang on. You're
same
right.
lines what they
Give
did
me 1
with
second there, Sparky. You're
yeah,
right, Fantasy, but you're jumping the gun. Give me a moment. I haven't added another feature to them. Anywho,
yeah.
continue.
Anyways, um the same thing with the I can't remember. I don't remember the species, but Rainune, the
Okay.
species of Rainune. They're like the Hobbit, elf
Yeah, the
Hobbit.
one with
Yeah,
the cone type thingy for the ears. I forget his name.
yeah. It's like
'Cause I remember there was the
the
green,
changelings did
the
the same thing
Jem'Hadar.
to them also.
Yes, yes, yes. So, back to our lovely Jem'Hadar female. She's just not only a Jem'Hadar female. She is a half breed. She's a mix of Jem'Hadar as well as Klingon.
Okay, the only way I know they have interspecies mixing, and they net. How do I put this? They put explanation on it in Enterprise.
Uh-huh.
I know that much.
Vorta, thank you, thank you, thank you, Fantasy.
Voda, yeah. Um, the only way I think I could accept this if this was some sort of experiment for like making another type of super soldier warrior by
I
mixing Jemadar and Klingon. That
you
is like the only way I'm gonna really accept that.
see, and that's where it comes back down to it, we haven't gone far enough into the season, and it's scheduled for having 2 seasons right off the bat. Obviously, Paramount really loves this. Apparently, I have no idea. But yeah,
That
unfortunately,
went horribly wrong.
yes,
Yes.
I would agree. It
Yeah.
had gone horribly wrong. Uh, oh, from what I've seen so far, I kind of go. I don't want to see any more. Even my sense of morbid curiosity and punishment kind of goes. I'm good. I'm good. Uh, yeah. There's a lot to this that needs a lot more explanation, and unfortunately, I don't think Kurtzman has the ability to do so. If this was handed off to somebody else who can write and properly direct, maybe this could work. But where
Now,
we are now, it's literally CW
let
teen drama in space.
I mean make your own fucking show at that point.
I would be great. Uh, you you can make a brand new spanking show away from Star Trek. I
You
know
could
that they
set
need
it.
to.
You can make this. You can make a CW show like that and
Yes,
set it in the frame of fucking Next Generation.
you could use.
Starfleet Academy.
Yeah, and again, you could use the facade of Star Trek without having to use. the academy or whatever. You could just have people out in space just existing because
Yeah.
that's what Star
Well,
Wars is supposed to be.
see,
Out in space existing.
that was the best thing with Voyager, because okay, Deep Space Nine, yeah, they're dealing with stuff, with
They
the
got the
Gamma
war that's going
Quadrant.
on and
Yeah,
so on and so forth. Yeah.
yeah, they had to, but that's set within the bubble. That's set
Yes.
within. It's like it's right next to Earth and Alpha Quadrant. It's still the collective species that you've grown up with, watching regular Star Trek, and then the Next Generation. That's what that is.
Yes.
Voyager was their experiment way back when. Hey, let's throw our fucking ship 70,000 light years out and force them to have to travel home. And since it's nowhere near the Alpha Beta Quadrant, any of these other species out here, we can change the game up, and we can tell new and differing stories and not fuck up continuity or fuck up anything story related within the main series.
Yeah.
They would have done something like that. Okay, yeah, cool.
I would have been kind of hoping for something like that because again, like I said, I'm not a massive nerd on the whole Star Trek kind of thing,
Okay,
but I can tell a few things that I
one
kind of go,
thing.
wait,
Yeah, one thing. Let me. One thing I like in Deep Space Nine,
mm,
the one thing that sticks in my mind for Deep Space Nine is Cisco laying Q the fuck out and
yeah,
not giving a fuck. That was like my favorite moment within Deep Space Nine. That and the um shooting the photon torpedoes with dilithium resin
mm, yeah.
into the Maquis colonies, and basically just rendering the fucking planet uninhabitable and just crossing that line four times over.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, trust me, when it comes down to Cisco, he committed a lot of war crimes, but a hell of a guy, hell of a guy,
Yeah,
brilliant actor as well,
yeah.
but.
That's like my two favorite moments within Deep Space Nine.
Oh yeah, no,
Um,
I quite enjoyed me a lot of Deep Space Nine. I was more of a Babylon 5
the
guy.
whole
But
yeah, the whole god not Guardians, but the whole
no, I think you were right.
the Guardian, not the Guardians, but the wormhole um religion aspect in Cisco.
the
I
prophet,
mean,
the prophets.
I've got to be serious. I rolled my eyes so hard through some of those
Yeah,
points, but besides from that, solid show.
yeah.
Um,
So I have no idea who this species is. I really didn't
Prophets,
get in
yeah,
the prophets. But no, this new species for me, I've never come across the Dar Shar species. Apparently,
the Shaw.
yeah, Dashara. But it's a new species for me. So yeah, I have. She comes off like a slut. Like she's willing to do anything. Yeah, I know Cisco's supposed to be non-human, but he is human, which is kind of weird. It's a whole different story base. It's a lot of nuances, which kind of, if you look at it, you can kind of go, "Oh my god, that makes more sense than what it is." But yeah, I have never come across this particular species throughout any of my off and on adventures with that thing called Star Trek. So yeah, I but yeah, she comes off like a little harlot through the course of aspects of the series. It's very very weird. She's very very weird. One thing that threw me was Jaden Krang. Um, he is a Klingon, or is what he's supposed to be a Klingon, but he's more into science. He wants to be a medical officer.
I mean, we had this with um
Worf's kid. I forget his name.
Balanator.
Yeah, I think that's.
I know I'm fucking the name up.
It's all good.
The female Klingon from Voyager.
Yeah. I was thinking of Worf's kid, but before he wanted to be more of a pacifist. Again, a lot of this concept sounds great on paper until you realize it's Kirkman who has to write this and direct it. And he has the characters kind of not feel good. There was a Klingon lawyer. Yeah, there was a Klingon lawyer. But again, a lot of it has a lot of interesting, great concepts for this particular series.
Well,
But
you had a Klingon as president. Of
you have wide eyes.
Federation, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Old RoboCop himself.
Uh-huh.
No, not RoboCop.
Not RoboCop.
Oh fuck, what's his name? Fuck, I can't remember his fucking name now. He played a bad guy in RoboCop. Oh, he said that dumbass in How I Met Your Mom.
Yeah.
No, not How I Met Your Mom. In That 70s Show.
Oh. Red, the guy that Red.
Yeah, Red Furman. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a Klingon. He was what, the president of
He was
Starfleet or something like that.
for a while. See, again, like I said, concept brilliant. I unfortunately, when you see them do it, you kind of go, "What did you do? You had
He
everything
was
good on paper, and then you fucked up somehow."
yeah, he was a villain in Voyager. He was also a villain in Enterprise.
He was a villain in a lot of different things. So I'm going to give you the Paramount trailer. Oh, by the way, it was free on YouTube, the first episode, and we'll just put it this way: not many people watched it. It bombed miserably on the YouTubes, and we get to see the trailer just so that you can get an idea of where it's going.
And so, we begin. I'm Captain Nala Ake, Chancellor of Starfleet Academy.
Oh, she's over 100 years old. Her species, I have no idea what it is, but she's over 100 years old. Like she's in like 400.
They sure just gave her elbows in.
Yeah, it would have been nice. But she's a tiny woman in that chair, and she sprawls in it. Like she puts her feet on it and everything else. Like she's like a little tiny woman in that chair. They should have just given her a better looking chair. But she's like an aged out species. I think she's 900 or something. I know she's like way over 100. She's weird.
We're all the first Academy class to return to our campus in San Francisco after more than 120 years. Some of you are here for your families, some for yourselves. Together, you are the best and the brightest from across the galaxy. A tapestry that is Starfleet. You will learn the skills that shaped our greatest officers. Like them, we'll ask you to give more of yourselves than you knew you had. To dream without limitations. Whatever challenges came before today led you to this moment. You here now. You weave together the future. So go out and seek, explore, boldly go where no one has gone before. It is my great honor to welcome you all to Starfleet Academy.
So just on that basis there, looks like a really interesting, possible series. right? Great. Wow, I wish that was the case, because the villain here, interesting villain, weird creatures that he's stuck with, uh, but it focuses on Caleb, which is let's see if I can remember, if I could find it. This kid here, this guy here.
Mm-hmm.
He his mother was a criminal, and she pretty much was lost in the crime area, and that, and the reason of why she was a criminal, because she stole food, uh technically, but she murdered people in order to do so. She
Yeah.
was prego. Hango, this is her kid, who is also a career criminal.
Hmm.
The connective tissue is with this beautiful bastard here. That beautiful bastard right here, the one that's whistling, uh, is linked with the mother and the son. They're career criminals. Gets better.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hang on a minute.
uh
Afrosian. Federation president was Afrosian.
great.
The like distant cousins of the Klingons.
Okay. So this lovely woman here, whose species is, I have no fucking clue. She was a judge before she decided to change her career choice and become somewhat of a counselor slash teacher. And she pretty much sentenced the kid, again, Caleb, the one that we seen previously, if I can find him, his mother to, a penal colony out in deep space, and she feels guilty about it. The
Trolls remorse.
kind of, yes.
That's a bitch.
Yeah, right. I know, right? Wow. And so she is now looking for Caleb, because his mother has gone missing, and she doesn't know where that portion of. So again, she feels really guilty of the fact that she sentenced a criminal to hard times.
This is like the same concept that they had with um John Luke's and Beverly's kid from Picard.
Jack.
Jack, yeah. There's same concept they have with Jack. Also the same concept they had with um the Admiral's son
Yeah, I
and Voyager.
yeah. Unfortunately, originality did not work well in Kirksman's track whatsoever. I wish. So yeah. So the main premise of the show is to find this kid's missing mom.
Animal Paris, yeah.
That is the main.
That's a fucking vacation.
Yeah.
I was gonna say. He did not look like was for where.
No.
It's like now. All right, so this is following. This is following the timeline split, right?
Yes, this is within the Abrams track verse
All right,
that
this
also
is
splits into another version of it, because there's three different track verses.
all right. So this is kind of stupid writing,
Yes.
and it's stupid writing at a couple different points because okay, um, Abrams track goes through those movies, then goes to Discovery,
Yes.
and then goes basically to this.
Yeah. Yes.
So the problem I have
Mm.
is the timeline divergence is so great within that era, and there's a lot of things that are completely different.
Oh yeah.
Are we sure? Like for instance, the EMH. Are we sure the events come about the exact same way?
Don't know. But he
EMH to get to
does
that
talk about that
point.
he was on the Voyager. So,
Sure, he was on the Voyager, but did
yes.
those events really transpire and led to the exact same things? Because I mean, there's a lot of things that have changed.
Oh, yeah, no, no. So, again, for
Because
me
you would assume the destruction of Vulcan and all the other fucking things that happened within the
actually,
show,
it was destruction of Romulus.
they also destroyed Vulcan.
Eventually, over time, yes. But it was probably his first, then yeah. It was weird. It was weird
Regardless
because
or not, Romulus and Vulcan have been destroyed.
yes. No, I know.
And with those two destroyed, you figure the ship to power up in the galaxy or in the sector
You would
would
think.
be vastly fucking different. Along with that, the only reason why that Voyager got shipped off into the other side of the galaxy
Mm.
was because of the events that was happening going on with Deep Space Nine and the Maquis
Wasn't it
uprising.
yeah, but there was another thing that happened. What was a thing that pulled them into the
It
Delta
was
Quadrant?
it was the caretaker
Thank you, the caretaker.
in the Delta Quadrant that did it.
Yes,
But if those events did not happen, like for instance, did the war change? Was there even a Maquis war? Because there's just
correct.
no Maquis war.
No
There's no
Marquee.
need for the Voyager to be sent out early as a um front to distract from the events of Voyager to have
Correct.
that happen. And if that doesn't happen, well, the EMH gains a certain level of sentience because he is forced to be out all the time as the ship's medic. So that it's like lazy writing to go, okay, we're gonna vastly change everything way back here in the past. Let's just assume everything right here in the middle happens the way they are, and they go 100 years in the future and just wash y'all. That's not how this works.
No, and
Sorry.
that's what I'm kind of at a loss here because Kirksman's track is not a great track. Has some interesting ideas paper-wise, but when you start watching him try to piece things together and you kind of go, wait, you've not only did you not take away all of the show's kind of histrionics to it and the reasonings why these characters are the way they are, you've never really introduced another set of catastrophes or challenges for the characters to have some degree of similarities. They're even a piss poor mirror versions of themselves.
Yeah, because yeah, there's several things that don't happen.
Right. But he's trying to make it like
Because
that.
here's another thing that they don't explain that they should explain because they
Mm,
have to explain it. Otherwise, the other's dead anyways.
yeah.
Um, the voyage home.
Yeah. They don't.
So okay, let's go down this path, writers of this new show.
Mm,
If Vulcan's destroyed, and Romulus is destroyed, and Kirk is no longer the captain, well, not captain, but
Captain yet, but he's not
go
really.
through the stuff of everything that way.
Mhm.
Um, how the fuck did they destroy? Get rid of the probe?
Yeah.
That is going to come to Earth. There's nothing that's going to deter it
Mhm.
because they didn't see this thing until it was right up on Earth's doorstep. Um, do they still go back in time?
Yeah.
Because yeah, they mess with time a little bit within the show, but not in the way that they need to go back that they did in A Way Home.
Yeah.
Uh,
No. Your guess is as good as mine. I know that
so do
the
they do? It's like you can't hand wave this all away unless you just want to say, "Oh, well, it doesn't happen." It's like, okay, then what devotes a fucking ship
yeah.
away that's on its way to see humpback whales?
Mm. Don't know. Don't know. So, like I said, I've seen it. Unfortunately, I have kind of concluded that it's not really Star Trek. It's CW in space. Yeah, there was a whale probe.
Regis, yeah, Regis
Yeah,
still coming.
yeah, I know. Future, yes.
It's like, oh no, and not only that. Why is God angry?
Yes, yes. So I I like the concept ideas, they're great on paper, but when you start fleshing out the world that he's in, you you you've lost a lot of things. Because I know his Strange New World series that is still ongoing, really doesn't answer a lot of the different questions
Oh,
that are needed.
let's throw another one out there. Let's throw another one out there.
Mm,
The rift,
yes.
the rift from Generations. What about
Mhm.
that whole deal?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because that sets into motion the path of Picard being able to meet Guinan. Because if it wasn't for Kirk doing what he did on the Enterprise B and saving the people from that rift, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, come on.
I know. I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Preaching see, like I said, I get it. I understand. But yeah, the this particular ongoing series, unfortunately, is not going to gain enough traction for it to truly pick up. It is not even good enough to be a girl series, and that's what it looks like it's trying to be. That this is going to be appealed to the female market. It's a terrible version of a full female cast version of Star Trek because you have a female captain, which is nothing unheard of. You have a security officer who is a mixture of Jem'Hadar and Klingon, and you have an Oompa Loompa. Actually, no, the blueberry, whatever she is, who is supposed to remind the captain, the headmaster, of certain teachable moments, and she looks like a dyke in space. So you have three females that are supposed to lead this entire thing, and they're leading poorly.
Yeah. Oh, not only that. Let's bring up one other thing.
Hmm.
Whatever happened to the Department of Temporal Investigations, which was around way before Abrams Star Trek, because it was
Yes.
around during Enterprise, and it was that one was explained from Enterprise. It was the same one that was in Voyager that kept the timeline in order of certain things that had to happen need to happen. It's
Hmm.
like, where are these people at?
I don't know. I don't
Why
know.
did they allow why they allow these people to come back in time and destroy Vulcan and set things up in motion? It's like, okay, yeah, we know that it's yeah, no.
Yeah. So this is their promotional poster. Uh, Clearly indicated that we're going to be following younger individuals. Uh, yeah. This is
Why the fuck am I getting like Degrassi vibes
You are,
of
because
this?
that's what it seems like they're going for. That's why I said it not Star Trek. It's got the facade of Star Trek, but it's playing out like, Degrassi High
Yeah,
what are the other female things that for the major shows, Melrose Place or whatever.
yeah,
This is like Friends in Space. It's like it has nothing to do with Star Trek. Yeah, Star Trek is there. It's just behind the scenes. I might be, a little moment in time, but they're really going to be focusing on the romance, the get-togethers.
yeah.
Are they not going to be boyfriend girlfriend? Who's friends with who? That kind of stuff. It's like I honestly, I'm not interested in that kind of thing. Oh, you brought up, Chakotay and Tuvok? Really?
Well,
Uh,
that's another question because Tuvok was a main pivotal role in Voyager and stuff like that. He's fucking Vulcan.
yeah,
Did he
he'd be
not
able
get
to.
wiped out when Vulcan went boom?
Maybe we won't know. Again, they've never really explored the other opportunities. There's a lot of areas that they could be exploring, and they haven't really touched it. They decided to go, you know what? The burn happened. Now we're going to go 100 years further from the future that we already at, and we're going to not really worry about what happened in the past because make it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We can just take the member berries and bring it forward and make people happy because remember this. We could reference to it, even though it has nothing to do with current not really Abrams, Kirksman Trek, because this is a spin-off of a J.J. Abrams version of it, which goes into a different world altogether. It's like, okay, could you not try to do the quantum leap aspect going from it's like taking quantum leap and going and sliders, putting the two together. Just jumping from point to point in history, not knowing exactly where the fuck you
Or
are.
or hear me out here.
Okay.
You make a new thing.
That I would love. They were going in a good direction. New thing. Great. But
Because here's another thing I want to touch back on. You said, okay, they're running out of the lithium. Are they running out of the lithium, or did something happen to make the lithium a nut?
so during the discovery portion of it, Michael Burnham ends up destroying all of the dilithium.
So, all right. I don't think it's destroyed. I think it's making it a nut because there's certain things that they theorize within Star Trek that because dilithium is affected by subspace and it can, basically be rendered useless. I can see it doesn't destroy it, it just makes it unusable, which I mean
I,
effectively would be destroyed, but
yeah, I,
that's
I,
what I want to get at is like
I
did
know.
he run out?
I wish they were that good at writing, or at least that good. This is Kirksman. I don't think he thought that far ahead. He barely likes the idea of female parts touching him.
So
It feels like
he did that. He did that through the entirety of the galaxy.
pretty. He did. He had that written out. Like it becomes non-existent because of some. Okay, so in the
Were they
discovery
fucking
part,
around with the Omega particle or something?
I don't know. Honestly, I wasn't paying attention to that much of Discovery. I barely got to a certain point. I'm like my brain checked out. I'm like I'm good. All I know is when they get introduced to Michael Burnham's now trying to find her missing mother. Again, this is another single mom story. Uh, she ends up becoming this red thing in space, the Red Angel, and the Red Angel ends up destroying all of the dilithium, which is Michael Burnham. She ends up being that particular thing and not her mom. Don't know how that works. I really don't care. All I know is they call it the burn. That is
Hang on.
the event that happened that destroyed all of the dilithium, and somehow they were able to get warp to work after about 100 or so years. That is what I know so far going into it. I'm like, I'm good. I've watched 2 episodes. I'm not happy. I'm oh
I hang on. The Bun was a galaxy-wide cataclysm event that occurred in 3069 in which most dilithium mysteriously went a nut. All right, so okay. Causing the detonation of every active warp core. The event caused widespread death and destruction, making dilithium even more of a short out. So it's not completely destroyed. It's still around. It just,
but the
for the
way
most
how it
part,
was
is
written,
gone.
the way how they written it, the way how they decided to make this thing happen. Again, poor writing. It's like they destroyed it all, but they didn't want to destroy it all because they realized that they needed that mechanic. So somehow magically it's here. There's no real good explanation. That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah, it's like I know the Phoenix didn't use the lithium. It used like a offshoot of the lithium in a nuclear reaction. It had, but it was only able to. They didn't even really break warp.
No.
They just had enough to go faster than light, and that's what the Vulcans looked and seen. So it's not like they were gonna go whoop 10 in the Phoenix. It's just enough to get them to the moon very fast, almost.
Yeah.
But I find that really hard to believe because
Ah, there it is.
not even Q in the Continuum could do something like that.
Yeah, but apparently Michael Burnham has better powers than Q.
Doubt it.
I'm Kirksman. I was able to tell that this black female has this super magical black woman power that's able to destroy the majority of dilithium. That basically what he did.
And
So
not even the Q can do that.
I know, but apparently that's what he decided that was going to be a thing. So this beautiful bastard of a ship, the Athena.
Okay.
Uh, yes, as you can see, nothing's really truly attached. The little wings here, they're not really attached to anything because there's nothing, no struts or anything that keeps them into place. This is the propulsion system. The nacelles are underneath the wings here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it kind of spreads out a bit more, and then they're able to warp. This piece here kind of retracts the wings somehow. This piece here, the centerpiece, that's the school. But this all the way around, they're not attached. Nothing's attached. How do they get from point to point, you ask? Teleport. Yeah, teleport.
Yeah, I know there's different. I know there's different substances that can generate warp, and a little bit of a correction. Romulans use a singularity
Black.
as a power source to fuel the dilithium. They still use dilithium. Um, they use the singularity as a power source. Um, and there's other substances that has a subspace well. It's just at the time and during Star Trek and the way they wrote it was the most common, best substance used for warp travel was a form of dilithium. There's offshoots of it. Yes, there's other ways to do it. I know.
So that's the Athena. She's a beautiful ship, isn't she?
I mean, and you say teleport. Okay, so
They
it's
teleport from point to
so
point.
it's no longer like a. So you have differing types of space drives within science fiction.
Yes.
So you have hyperspeed or hyperdrives within like Star Wars,
Yes.
which is significantly faster than anything in Star Trek.
Uh-huh.
Because it's basically just like a warp tube is basically a hypertube, hyperlane. That's basically what it is in Star Trek.
Mhm.
Star Wars. In Star Trek, it's faster than light travel. And stuff like Halo,
Halo.
Robotech, Elite Dangerous, it's like fold,
Mhm.
frame shift,
folding space technology. So it's kind of like what is in Star Wars. It's warp tube, but it's not really that. It's basically folding space and going from point to point. So
Mm,
so they're going basically from ship going faster than light to ship now generating a wormhole.
kinda, yeah. It's like I said, they still have warp, but it's strange.
Yeah.
And the factor that the Academy, which is this beautiful thing here, turns into the Athena. Because this is a mobile academy. So she could take off from planet to space, get hooked up to the ring, so it now becomes a full-fledged starship fleet, or ship, I should say, and it gets launched into to deep space, either however they want to do so. And there's really no solid explanation on how any of this magically happens. Honestly, it's just, yeah, just magical things that happened in
Star
space.
Trek, Star Trek 2 actually, this fantasy,
Mm.
because that's what remember, Spock had to walk into the warp core and reset the dilithium matrix by hand, and that's what killed him.
Yeah, that's right.
The Wrath of Khan.
Yay!
And even then, dilithium was a thing within the shows itself.
Mhm.
They just finally set on an idea like towards the end of the show and during the movies.
Yeah. So yeah, that is the crux of it. But like I said, this Starfleet Academy is basically following Caleb, trying to find his lost mom, and setting up, I guess, for the ultimate bad guy, which is uh the other mixed breed. I forget what he's supposed to be. I think he's like a Vulcan mixed with something else, or he's a Romulan mixed with something else. I can't remember, but he has pointy ears with multiple points.
Yeah.
So yeah, not overly good, not entirely bad. It has possibilities, but again, if Kirkman was not the one that was writing it or directing it, might be an interesting series. But for what it is, for what it is now, yeah, I don't see it being very successful.
Well, I don't care if they write a clone or a spinoff
It's fine.
or knockoff of Star Trek. I
Yeah,
don't care. It's like fucking do it.
I
But
personally,
I don't like this, hey, let's make a warped alternative, universe to the story that we know,
yeah,
so we can rewrite and redo things the way we want to do over here and
yeah.
make things stupid.
Yeah, it's bad enough that Fallout has pretty much retconned a lot of different things. We're talking about Fallout the actual series. Retconned a lot of different things, and kind of said, hey, certain events didn't really happen, and it happened in a particular different
All
way.
right, I'm all right, Tom. I'm willing to give the show a little bit of a chance. I've been watching season 2. I watched season 1,
Mhm.
and I had a lot of questions about things.
Yes.
I'm watching season 2. I'm liking some of the things that they're doing. I'm still got questions about other things,
Uh-huh.
but they're not entirely they're not entirely retconning. They are changing the story up a bit.
Well, I mean, the
But
dinosaurs
here's
facing the wrong
but
direction.
here huh?
The dinosaurs facing the wrong direction.
There's a lot of things set right that's not
Yeah,
correct.
correct. I
The
mean,
set rise. Okay, I'm not going to nitpick over set locations. I'm not gonna nitpick over that one. Okay, that's just visual
no,
look and stuff
I
like
get
that.
it. I get it. I get it.
Um, story rise and things that they do within the story, I will nitpick.
Uh-huh.
I do like I said, I like a lot of things that they're coming along with.
Mm.
One of them, I'm liking the involvement with House within the story right now.
Mhm.
There was a lot of questions at the end of season one. Is like, uh, House wasn't like this. Is like, okay, House wasn't, this like he was cold and calculating, yes. But House never wanted to destroy the world, which kind of what it sounded like in that meeting at the end of
Mhm.
season one. But now to come to find out, it's like, okay, House had a body double. Okay, that makes sense. Wasn't explained or said within the story, but can be
Can
reasonably
be.
looked at.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand why he would. He has fingers in a lot of pies, and a lot of people was out to get him for certain things. So okay, I can believe that one.
Mhm.
And they came back around and they look and they made they kind of brought that aesthetic back to House of, yeah, he's cold and calculating, but he's not out to destroy the world.
No,
It's
he's
about the
kind
same
of
thing as save Vegas, and
yeah.
that was his main priority: is save himself, save Vegas, and make a jumping point for whenever the world does get destroyed, because it's going to, according to
Yeah.
him, and everything that he can predict. Make a good jumping off point to where he can rebuild it, which
Mhm.
is exactly the same thing what it was in the games. I'm fine with that one.
Yeah.
Cold fusion. Okay, the whole deal with cold fusion um is an interesting tie-in. It does make sense, especially story-wise and lore for House. That he'll be wanting it. That was
Yes.
one of his hiccups, along with the platinum chip,
Uh-huh.
which was the main catalyst and driving point story of the actual game. But another one was he suffered from constant reactor failures because the Lucky 38's reactor was not powerful enough and substantial enough to do what it needed to do after the bombs fell. So,
Mhm.
okay, makes sense. He's after cold fusion, shit like that. Okay, everything in the house I'm liking so far. I want it to cook. Um, the
NCR.
stuff of like Victor and the security trons makes sense. We
NCR.
were wondering what those constructs were in the games,
Uh,
because it seemed like that they were artificial personalities. Right now, the way it's making it seem is like they're not really artificial personalities, so actually scanned personalities, which was a theory for some things within the game, but never really locked down.
no, no.
Um,
A lot of aspects, like I said, it
yeah.
kind of works, but
Um,
you've gotten rid of your NCR, which you kind of go so. You've gotten rid of one of the
that is a
actual.
quest line.
Yeah,
You can get rid of all the NCR within the Vegas. You can do that.
but what
As
you do.
far as like in general overall in the Wasteland, I don't know about that one. But then again, we never been to Shady Sands. Yes, they talk about Shady Sands,
Oh
but
no, they showcase it that Shady Sands does get blown up by somebody who's got one of those
I'm
brainwave
not. I'm
things
not
in
talking
his
about in
head.
the show. I know that. I'm talking about
No,
within the
no.
game wise.
Within the game, we don't know, but within the show, we do know what happens. So that's basically
Yeah.
the core of it. So you have to separate the two completely. We are not really focusing too much of the game itself because when it comes down to the TV series, I'm going to call it the TV series. Uh, they are talking about this taking place. I'm guessing 50 years after certain events, maybe 100 years after certain events. So it's like okay, you've destroyed Shady Sands. Now we find out it
So
was the case of a nuke being blown up in Shady Sands, which destroys all of the NCR, creating a power vacuum. house version, Pleasantville. Yes.
So if I remember right, the NCR made a truce with House in 2276, if
Something
I
like that.
remember right.
Something like that. Yes.
Um, I can see them because you'll be like, well, in the game, Shady Sands was still around and stuff like that. It's like in the game, as far as we know,
Correct.
Shady Sands is still around. It's
Oh yeah.
very possible because to show up because what do you want to do within that circumstance? I really kind of hope they go down this route, but in the route that I'm thinking is yeah, Shady Sands blew the fuck up. Nobody knew what it was. Nobody knew who did it. Shady Sands blew the fuck up. What do you do in that situation? Do you let all your enemies and every other one, the powers know, oh yeah, we took a devastating blow and our capital's gone? What do? Do you put on a facade and, oh yeah, nothing happened? I would like to see them go down the road of, yeah, nobody knew Shady Sands, but specific people and factions knew it was gone because they were trying to put on a facade.
Be nice, but
That would make sense to me if they did that.
a lot of it again comes back down to creative writing and the ability to do creative writing. Unfortunately, we're talking about current Hollywood, and unfortunately, we have a small man who really didn't like New Vegas whatsoever because it blew out his particular Fallout and his thing in space out of the water. So, so yeah,
Well, I mean, come on, Howard. You said it just walks.
I know, right?
It
So not
just
only did
walks, right?
they get rid of the NCR technically, they also introduced the Legion, who are now separated because of the fact that the Kaiser is the middle of these two factions, or at least these two variances of camps who've now
So
become factions.
the Legion's interesting to me, and I'm actually kind of intrigued with what they're doing because, I mean, in a roundabout, I mean, you can kill Caesar.
Oh yeah,
and you can't take control of Legion in the game, anything like that. You can kill Caesar, but the Legion's still around because Linnaeus ends up taking over. If you the player kills Caesar, Linnaeus takes over and you face off against he's the final boss in battle anyways.
Boss,
Yeah,
yes.
he's the final boss in battle regardless. But if you don't kill Caesar, we do know he will succumb to his illness, so because he has some sort of like
where they have him currently is he's in the middle of the two camps. Neither one of the actual two leaders of said branch of the camps wanted to go down to read the note of who's supposed to be taking over leadership. So they fight over it basically.
Yeah,
that's basic. And then you have the Brotherhood of Steel, who apparently has a lot more different brotherhoods throughout all of the United States.
Well, that was
has
known.
The ability to take over the United States.
Well, that was kind of already there's multiple chapters of the Brotherhood. That was known. That was not in doubt. We know that the Brotherhood had airships. In fact, that was like one of the story points, even in the Fallout Bible. That's how they ended up getting to the West Coast. No, not the West Coast, the East Coast.
East Coast, yes.
Is they had a fleet of airships, and that's how you get to the pit also. It wasn't Pit. It was Detroit.
Yeah, I'm not discrediting a lot of those particular areas of again gaming lore.
Yeah,
but this series is not really following the gaming lore. It's borrowing from the lore.
And it's borrowing from the lore, and it's making its own, which I can respect.
Yes,
and again, there's a lot of the wasteland that we do not know about, so it makes sense.
It does. But like I said, you've created a power vacuum, and you have all these people who are supposed to be Brotherhood members
Well,
who act like teenage jocks, blowing up certain things and not really caring about certain aspects. It's like, as well as this particular Brotherhood kind of feels more of the Enclave than they do the Brotherhood.
well, in this fantasy just said it right when you said it, but
Yes.
yeah, it's like they have that religious sect to it, and it is almost reminiscent of what Lions Brotherhood was, but
Was.
not to the extreme. Not to the extreme.
Yes. Yeah, because there's I don't know how far you've gotten so far into this season of Fallout,
I've
but
seen
there.
all of them.
Okay, cool. So there's that aspect where I forget the two Brotherhood members see a fridge. There's an alien that's in the fridge. They throw the alien out, and they go, "Oh my god, it's a fucking working fridge."
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
Well, and so for every continuity error that we see,
Yes.
and for like I said, it's that faction, it's that isolated
No.
branch.
Yeah.
Because when we see that faction, it's like they're low on resources, they're not really that well supplied. And all
Yes.
again, it's like you see
Oh
the
no.
Commonwealth come in. Oh yeah, I've got a spare power armor.
Yeah.
You
No,
have
I get that.
spares?
Yeah,
It's like,
apparently so. Yes, it's like okay, but yeah, no. I get most of that, and I accept a lot of it, but I also kind of counter with the factor that okay, if you're going to borrow heavily from certain aspect of lore, then you would want to keep that continuity of lore a little bit longer than just shooting it and calling it a day, going, It's my shit now."
well, yes and no. Because we have, because we have the outcasts in
Yeah,
Fallout 3, along
correct,
with, Lions Brotherhood, which we
correct.
know Lions Brotherhood is also Maxon's Brotherhood. It's the same faction, and it's vastly different from Fallout 3 to Fallout 4.
Yeah.
What we don't see and what we have not seen is the Brotherhood that was in 1 or the
Oh,
Brotherhood that was in New Vegas. We have not seen or known about them to this point.
no, no, and I don't think we will because that's harking
I
too
think
far.
I
That's
I
harking
think
too far.
I think the Brotherhood in the Mojave was wiped out.
According to lore, yes, they would have been most likely wiped out.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, that is
If
going
House
too.
survived,
Yes.
if House survived, the Brotherhood would have been wiped out.
Mhm.
The Legion would have been in shambles.
Yes.
Caesar can survive,
Good.
and the Legion has still been in shambles because they lost Hooper Dam.
Huh?
NCR would have been either driven out or it's like it's a house ending is what we got so far,
So
but
far.
but with a lot of twists, turns, and caveats to it.
Yeah,
What
they're
all those are, we don't know yet.
no, and we also kind of go back into what is it, 31, 32, and the Gentile who now claims himself as the leader for that particular one, getting people to leave that Fallout area using the air duct, if I remember correctly, or a vent that was put in there. Uh, yeah, they become a rogue colony, I would assume, if that's the direction they're going with. So yeah, all I can say going forward, the number for the viewership for this season comparative to the last season, which is something I like data wise, is not looking good.
Yeah, as far as you're right, and you know how I
Yeah,
am. I know where you're coming from. You're looking at it as like how successful it was, how good it was, and the chances are if it's gonna get a
another season of the. I know where you're coming from in that one. As far as me, story wise, like I said, I was highly adverse to it on the first season,
No, I get it.
but I was open because it sparked a curiosity of, okay, what are they gonna do with it?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So far what I'm seeing right now, they're not destroying it. They are changing it.
Oh yeah, they are
Fine.
definitely yes.
Um, but if they change it in a way to where it's like, okay, they're acknowledging that New Vegas happened. Fine.
Yes.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
They want to change or add things that happen after the fact. Like, okay, I
By all
can see the
means.
Lucky 38 reactor melting down.
Yeah.
I can see that because he's had issues with it. Okay,
Oh yeah,
that
no, I get it.
explains the
Yes.
radiation. That explains the radiation and the strip. That explains why the Keens got turned girls.
Yes.
The Death Claws moved up from Corey Junction. Okay, I can see that.
Mm,
I can also see the Enclave fucking around and putting those Death Claws there.
yeah. Again,
Because
like I said, there's a
yeah,
lot of different.
yeah, the Enclave's still around.
They are. They are.
To a point.
To, yeah, they are.
So I can see stuff happening.
Yeah, I again, I agree. There's a lot of different aspects that work well, but there's certain aspects that really don't, and they also don't really properly explain themselves because it's like they've left themselves into more of a campy comedy version instead of having the point or having the ability to really seriously explain the situation better. Ergo, the Legion being split the way they are, campiness of it is now they're fighting with each other over a dead body that clearly either one of them can just see what's on the piece of paper. There's no true solid explanation that goes with it. The factor that you have all these different brotherhoods, all these different chapters that kind of have enough manpower and resources to pretty much take over all of the United States and actually most of North America at ease, and yet really don't do it. You have the questionable actions of what happened
That's not
in
what
the
they would.
NCR.
That was never really their goal,
Uh,
though.
the original goal was to pretty much lockstep technology. That no longer is
Lockstep technology. Keep what happened. Keep what led the war to happening from happening again,
correct.
and help society kind of cleanse and rebuild from the apocalypse. But they never really had any. The only one that really had that kind of mindset of like taking over was Father Elijah.
Of course, as well as the other guy in Fallout 4. Regardless of the factor,
Well, Maxim,
they're
yeah.
no longer lockstep in technology. They really don't care about people, fixing the Commonwealth or anything. They're more about themselves, the way how this is going.
Yeah, to a point, yeah.
So we've kind of
So
ventured
was
away from
so
the
was
original.
so was the Brotherhood in New Vegas.
Correct. The two point because realistically, the two main factors, actually, the three main enemies were the Legion, the NCR, and
House.
no, the ones that the criminals, the ones that threw the
The
dynamite,
Boomers?
the boomers. Thank you. Those
Not
were
the
your
no
three.
no 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 no. No, not the Boomer. The Boomers were the vault drillers up in Nellis Air Force Base. What you're thinking of the powder gainers.
Thank you, the power gangers. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Those were your three major enemies in the game. The other ones we don't really see hide a hair of realistically the proper chapter of the Brotherhood. Yes, there's a character within it, but you really don't see them interacting with that area of the world.
You're talking about
The Brotherhood,
Oh,
the one that's underground now.
no, you're talking. I know what character you're talking. You're talking about Veronica.
Yes, thank you. So they're there, but they're really not there. Like I said, um, so that's where your three major factors are. Now, unfortunately for Todd Howard and friends, they made the Brotherhood the main kind of character or the main franchise, mascot for the entire series, for the game, for the most part. Even though really they weren't supposed to be. Um,
Well,
uh,
it wasn't Todd Howard that did that. It was the original creators, and that's what he wanted in like Fallout 1.
Fallout One,
Fallout 1 and Brotherhood Tactics is where they
Brotherhood
were gonna go
Tactics
with that.
is a weird one because that was done by an
Yeah.
Australian team who
Because
wanted that to happen.
yeah,
Fallout
because
One and Fallout Two actually follows we actually follow the people in a Fallout area.
yeah.
So the Vault Dwellers are the ones who are supposed to be the main stars of this one. As Erica, when you go to New Vegas, who are done by the original team from the original one and two, not tactics, uh, they follow the same tradition as they did from one and two, following a different person within that story universe. Erico the
Mhm.
Courier. He has nothing to do with
Um,
the Brotherhood or whatever.
Yeah. Um yeah, he can shut. All right, so my thing is you're right. When he got the dam, he could have shut the reactor down. The problem is the reactor is still there. So you can still sabotage the reactor. And my thinking with it, because the strip is um is irradiated in places, it makes sense that it would be House's reactor, especially since some of the cutaway clips we see, if I remember right, four, I think it's episode 4, it
Hmm.
cuts away with House's stasis capsule open and a hand out of it. Um, we do know that House's main goal was a technological living aspect, not a biological living aspect. He was forced into that stasis chamber because of the events that happened. The platinum, not having the platinum chip, forced him to have to make him save his original body. But his plan was in the show mind transference.
Hmm.
And it could be for the fact of what I'm thinking is when he got the platinum chip and he got the dam, he was able to set those plans into motion. And the reactor breaches, well, that radiation's in the Lucky 38 now. He had to fast forward into transplanting his mind fully into the computer. That will explain that portion, along with the Keens being gullified and the depth claws, while they live in
Regions
irradiated
that are highly
areas.
radiated. So
That's
yeah.
fine. Why they're there could be they wandered in. It could be that they were placed.
A
Hell, it could
lot
have
of
been
different
them. It
aspects.
could have been it could have been the depth claws that caused damage to react. I don't know. That's a story plot. That's a story point that we're gonna get into. That's just my thinking of it.
No, I mean it's a good theory, but again, the major mascot is supposed to be Fall Out Boy himself. The Vault Boy. That is
Yeah,
the major.
yeah.
Yeah, he is supposed
Howard.
to be the major franchise, mascot. But unfortunately, for the way how Todd Howard and friends have been going since they've taken over, is they've been trying to make the Brotherhood feel like more of it's the main faction mascot going forward, instead of having individual stories on different aspects within the Fallout universe, which happened in Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 and New Vegas.
Yeah.
Uh, so
Well, I mean, you look at any Fallout game, what do you see? Well, you see a Brotherhood power armor,
Yeah,
except for New Vegas, and you got
right.
the NCR.
Then you get the NCR. I mean, Fallout 1, you don't get introduced to the Brotherhood until much later. Same thing with Fallout 2. You actually follow the Lone Wanderer's story into.
Yeah,
So it's like, okay, by the
in
time you get
Fallout,
yeah.
yeah, in
So
Fallout 3, you find the Brotherhood when you get to the Citadel, the
right.
Pentagon. In
Yes.
Fallout 4, you find the Brotherhood through one of two ways: either you meet up with Dan's first,
Mhm.
or you get Kellogg's memory. You
Yeah.
get the synth component from Kellogg, and then afterwards it triggers the
Uh-huh.
cutscene of the Predator coming in.
Yeah. Uh,
Um,
as well as the introduction of the power
yeah,
armor for 4 versus
um,
3 is way
yeah.
different.
In New Vegas, you don't come across. You
Cost,
hear the brother. You hear of the Brotherhood
but
and the
you don't
Battle of
know.
Boulder, but
Yeah.
you don't meet up with them unless you do like some missions from the NCR and you discover Hidden Bunker, or you
Yes.
run into Veronica, and
And yeah, then you have a
or you get in with House, and then House sends you to
two, yes. So you have this roundabout way that you need to, because when you go into Fallout 4, all you have to do is bump into what is supposed to be the
Dan's.
Minuteman, no Minuteman
No,
first.
Minimin.
Yeah, and then you get the power armor right away to be able to defeat a Deathclaw, and then all of a sudden you have this power armor, spree of collection, and then by the time you get to the dance version of it, and you have to defend them from the ghouls, you've got another opportunity to kind of go
Yeah.
into there. And it's like, okay, great.
Well, so Howard's character in the show is kind of like the Soul Survivors and Fallout Force,
Yes,
because they both fall in the war.
correct. So it's
What
like,
the
okay,
thing I liked the most
hmm.
so far was the introduction of the Deathclaw in Alaska,
No,
and
I
that being a talking point with House.
yeah, no, that is, again, like I said, there's certain aspects I quite enjoy, but when it comes down to borrowing heavily from lore and just using it as member berries instead of kind of going, that was its own thing. Here we are kind of existing within the structure of the game's universe, but recreating our universe without having the game being attached to it. It seems like they've kind of left beyond a certain point, because it feels like they're trying to, I don't know, explain 76 within the movie or the TV
70,
series.
76 is one Fallout game. All right, so games I have played.
Yeah,
I myself have not played 1, 2 Tactics or any of the old ones. I
yeah,
myself have not played. I have watched multitudes of playthroughs of them.
yeah.
Um, and I have deep dive within the lore of them. The
Mm,
games I have played completely have been New Vegas 4,
uh-huh.
3. I have not touched on 76.
I have, and um, it's brought in a new version of ghouls. Uh,
Is it to explain or to assume that they've been taken?
kind of.
And that's another thing too. Is like, is the serum FEV?
No, and that's where that's the problem. It doesn't explain any of that.
Well, I
76.
mean, I'm not asking if it
No,
is. I'm we know for a fact we don't know yet.
right.
But
We definitely don't know.
it's the explanation of, is it like a different form of FEV or something like that? Because even then it's like it doesn't make sense. But then again, FEV's been like toyed with.
Multiple different.
FEV, well, FEV does different things, and there's been many strains. Like, okay,
we get the super mutants in Fallout 4. We have the super mutants in Fallout 3. We have the super mutants in Fallout New Vegas and
Yes.
1 and 2. You know, and it's varying. They're either really dumb or really smart.
Yeah.
Depending on what form and strain. And we also have different mutations that happen. And if I remember right, fuck. I want to say Sentinels, but they're not Sentinels. The fucking
The Centaur?
mutated Centaurs. Yeah, we have you have super mutants, you have Centaurs, and we have different other things. There's other things in the game that explain. You come. Let's talk about New Vegas. So you see the Night Stalkers, and you see the Hawk
other
Wasp,
version, yeah.
the Cazadors, and be like,
Cassidors.
oh my god, it's the radiations mutated these creatures. No, they're genetically created. Same thing that we know of with the Death Claws. They were
They were
genetically engineered and created. It was we didn't know when though.
correct.
In Big Mountain in New Vegas, I can't remember which one it was. I don't remember what DLC was, but whenever you go to Big
I
Mountain,
think it's called the Brotherhood of Steel.
no,
Because oh wait, are we talking about 4 or 3? No, New Vegas, right?
we're talking about New Vegas, we're talking about Big Mountain, and we're talking about the
Oh,
DLC that was in it.
yeah, no,
I don't remember the name of it because you had Dead Money, you had
yeah,
which
no,
it wasn't Dead Money.
no.
I don't remember what DLC it was, but I know you went to Big Mountain and you found several of the experiments that they had there. Like the ants. We know the ants are mutated from radiation and possibly FEV.
Hmm?
The geckos, we know those are mutated from radiation and FEV. The rad scorpions, we know that those are mutated from FEV and radiation. It's those forms.
Yeah.
If you go back to 1, we have Held. Held is is Shortiness Ghoul. We don't know if he's a ghoul. We don't know if he's a mutant. We don't know if he's both. We don't know which one came first. Harold was knocked into a vat of FEV, but when he came out of it, he looks like a ghoul.
Yep.
But he has a tree coming out of his head.
Yeah.
And he turns into a tree afterwards. So it's like
Yeah.
we don't know if he's ghoul or if he's a mutant. Essentially what they said in the Bible, and this was not Bethesda, this was the people who wrote it.
No, I know, and that's where
he is a ghoul and he is a mutant, but he's neither a ghoul nor a mutant.
correct. And then,
He's
like I said, we move into 76 version of it. We introduced to the Scorches, which is another variant on the
FEV.
Ghoul. Yeah, but it's a variant on the Ghoul. It takes place 25 years after the Great War. Yes, we're in Appalachia. We're introduced to aspects of the Enclave. We have aspects of the Brotherhood. We also have Scorched Beasts. We have the mythos from Appalachia.
Wasn't the Scorch like a plant-based thing?
I'm not. It feels like
if I remember right, the Scorch was kind of it was like it was them fucking around with FEV and plants, and it was like they were kind of like the spore creatures, but not exactly.
They're in this case they come off as red mutated ghouls. That's the best way of explaining. They all they did was we skinned the ghouls, give it a different color, and then gave it a new name. That's why I have a hard time saying that they're a new entity by itself. They're just red ghouls. because they're mindless. They attack the same way as the ghouls. They come in glowy features, and you kind of go, wait. Um, then there's this giant. They're controlled by this giant bat-like thing called the Scorched Beast, and it uses supersonic waves and all that kind of stuff throughout the entire. You have Mothman who shows up. You have the Flatwood Monster who's there. So you've got a lot of different West Virginia folklore that also exists within this universe or that portion of the game. And you still have your mutated animals. You do have your offshoots of the ghouls. Um, they
No,
introduce,
yeah, that's yeah, it's like yeah, the Scorch,
yeah,
it was the kind of like the from Last of Us.
yes,
That's what's kind of like.
yeah, and that's basic.
But they can affect mutated, radiated, and normal creatures. It's like
It's they're
it's basically what the Enclave wanted, but unfortunately, it affects humans too.
yeah. It's like
And two.
okay, this is kind of a weird plague that's happening. So it's like, okay, I get where we're getting at. Um, so it's like they're borrowing heavily because we already have the Wastelanders, which brought in the actual NPCs because it was supposed to be a game with just all players, and that kind of fucked up. Then they brought in the Steel Dawn, which brought in the Brotherhood. Then they had the Steel Rain, which brought in the Enclave. Then they brought in the Expedition Pit, which brought in something else. I can't remember exactly. And then you have Atlantic City, which brings in the Ghoul. So,
Which I mean,
which they again is fine. They're interconnecting this MMO to their new hit
the
TV
show.
franchise, which is great. Money goes around, makes
So so we know the goal was the goal back
then yes
25 years after the
after the
bombs
Great War,
dropped.
yes. So yes, like okay, cool. So we know that he turns himself. We know how he becomes the ghoul. Great. We know that within that time frame for the Fallout
How?
76, he is the ghoul. We just don't know how.
Well, how does it get to that point?
We don't know. So
Or he
we'll
doesn't tell
probably
you in the game?
no, it doesn't. He is just there to be an NPC that gives us quests to go to. He's just a quest giver. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. So it's like okay,
Bounty hunter.
yeah, that's basically what we are. And that it's a great idea. I don't get me wrong. I like bounty hunter kind of aspect. I feel like it's too late for the game to try to bring in more players because the player base itself is filled
What
with
they should
people
have
who
done,
just go ahead.
they should have brought him in like a year or so before the TV show.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
That would have probably hit it off better with people.
Yeah, it would have had a proper connective tissue. He just feels like he's an add-on. Like, oh, okay, great, he's there, but why is he there?
Novelty.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's the novelty, correct? But he's just there. It's like okay, and again, like I said, I'm okay with the grift and that. I just like having the explanation or, a good reason for why you're gonna give me a novelty character.
Yeah, make it make sense.
Yeah, please. It's just as well as if you're going to introduce a new classification, the bounty hunter. You should have had that. I don't know near the beginning. Just saying. But yeah, the whole goal was to have two teams fight each other for the nuclear codes. That was the original goal. It didn't work out in Bethesda's, or the people behind Bethesda.
Well, nobody wanted a live service game.
I know.
The only thing you did was fight against each other. It's like they wanted the hype of Overwatch in the
Yes,
form of Fallout. It's like
correct.
people didn't want that in
No.
Fallout. People wanted,
I don't know.
NPCs and shit.
Yeah, they wanted to play Fallout with friends. You know, that's basically what they wanted to do. Uh,
Yeah, they wanted a Fallout game like I would say like 1 and 2. It'd be nice if we could get 1 and 2, but it's like you want a Fallout game like 3, New Vegas, and 4.
Pretty much, it's a
But not stuck solo.
yeah.
Hey, if your other friend want to come in and play a game with you, they could come in and play the game with you. But the problem is at that point is like, do you is it stuck in a role base? Like, well, actually, no, it wouldn't be because you can
No, they'd be
because
updates
you
there.
can add people and take people out of seven. I was thinking 7 Days to Die. It's like,
No,
well, then
no, no.
just
It is an
but
open world, so each
yeah,
server does exist. Yes, you can have the global community server, or you can have your
yeah,
independent servers that they created. So that is the thing that does happen. But
yeah.
they were hoping that it would be more bloodshed. It started off that way for a while, but it became more cooperative. Uh, every new player coming in gets a loot full of whatever the McGubbins that they want to by other players because they're pretty much gotten to a point where like they're level 2000. It's a yeah, we're good. We've seen this entire game. Here, have some free shit.
Hey, you see this trunk over here? That's all the shit I've been collecting that I've not had to use since like level 150. What level
Whatever.
are you?
Have yeah,
2500. Have
yeah.
fun.
Go for it. Take it. I don't need it. Means nothing to me. I got oodles of monies. It's like, okay. Oh, and now they introduced new character, a new version for classification game wise inside game. I'd say, yeah, you've already had an opportunity. It should have been just around the Steel Dawn or Steel Rain time frame. Hell, even when you introduce the Wastelanders, have all these new NPCs, have them somewhat killable, certain targets, introduce that. But you wait until Atlantic City, no one cares. Hell, no one cared about the little mystery thing to explain more of the scorches. No one really cared about the McGubbin. They a lot of them tuned out afterwards. Were done. So hardcores are still there, but it's not supporting the game too well. So yeah. Anywho's it's but yeah, that is the crux going forward. For the TV series, the viewing numbers are going down. Yes, there's still going to be another season. I believe they have it locked into about season 4. Um, but if the viewing numbers go down even further, I don't know if they're going to get there.
Yeah, I'll find out.
Well, yeah,
And
that's it.
even if it tanks, like I said, for me, I I don't look at the numbers. You know that.
No, I know, I know, I know.
I want a story that gets me entrenched,
No, I get it.
makes sense, and doesn't destroy the shit I love. That's what I want.
No, no, and
Um,
I kind of concur. I like certain aspects of what they presented. I'm not really overly solid when it comes down to numbers, but I understand when numbers are important, especially for production.
mhm.
And if the numbers aren't good, the production may not continue. And that's where I lean to, is going, well,
Yeah, I know.
they're losing eyeballs. What could be opportune time to explain a lot of different things may not be available to them. So then now they have to condense certain things or hopefully explain a lot of different things quickly, which kind of takes away from a potential of a slow growth. They're going to speed things up, which could make things worse.
Yeah,
And that's kind of what I've been seeing with a lot of the modern versions. Yeah, there's a certain group out there that say everything is woke or it's too whatever it is on the left, and unfortunately, it's just the way how it is. You just have to deal with it. Is it too preachy or not too preachy? Is where my mindset is. Does it explain itself? great. If it doesn't, then it may lose interest, and that's bad. Uh, so yeah, I've watched a lot of shows in my time frame, some that were interesting, and I was hoping to know more, and it died a painful death in its first season, or barely its first season. So it's like, ah, okay, there goes the potential. Uh,
There goes the plot.
yeah, so it's like great. Like we're waiting on the Buffy the Vampire Slayer continuance. It is still ongoing of production scheduling. Uh, Gellert is still not too sure exactly when its final release will be, but hopefully soon. She's not getting any younger, so and it will be her pretty much apprenticing a new Slayer, which is great. Passing of the torch. I like those kind of stories. I'm just hoping it makes sense.
We always want stuff to make sense.
Yes, that's what I want. I want it to make sense. So if it stops making sense, I start asking myself, why did you even make this if you're not going to follow sense? Anywho, but we have breached it. We have kind of almost got into the 2 hour mark.
We've
We
done a little bit of overtime.
That's fine. It's all good. But yeah, there was a couple other things that kind of were on the docket that could be moved over for later, as usual. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. We normally talk about whatever it is. No politics. We just kind of go through the whole fluff of shows, whether we like or dislike, and what we can actually take apart in some cases, especially when myself and Sparky are around. Sometimes we go into VTuber drama, mostly when Sparky's around, but in this case, not so much, which is great. I loved it. But as usual,
Well,
I give,
there's been no VTuber drama, so
thank God. Thank fucking God. Oh, but as usual, I give Sparky his last rites. I hit buttons and we get the fuck out of here.
I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming sometime this weekend. I may or may not. I don't know. I'm working on trying to become a little bit more active on Elite Danger streaming. Probably going a little bit more full time on it, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Thank you for coming along, Fantasy. I've always liked people who like to interact. If you have any other questions or want to play the game of interaction, don't hesitate. Come by for more. I myself will be streaming Hightail, my curious adventures in a game that seems like it's Minecraft but more. I'm intrigued. I've got it. I want to see how far they go. Um, so on that one, we'll catch you guys next time. I'm hitting the fucking button.